Hey guys, Adam Lavelle, the wrestling snob, founder, owner, originator of the Noah Network here on YouTube. 9 years strong. I've been doing this. I didn't realize this channel's been around this long. So thanks for your support. I'm still just like one or two subscribers away from 400. So if you could help get me there, that would be great. I don't expect huge numbers on a pro wrestling Noah channel, not because it's bad. It's my favorite wrestling company in the world, but it's a niche product for especially for American followers. But no matter where you're from, thanks for following me here, and I sure would appreciate one or two more followers to get me over that 400 hump. Of course, I'm here to talk about sunny Voyage. April 11th, 2025 happened early today, if you will. In the east coast of the United States, so it was on this morning. I didn't get a chance to watch it until later. Or no, it was yesterday morning. I'm sorry, today is the 12th. I watch so much wrestling, my head is all over the place, but Noah is the best. Sunny Voyage, April 11th, 2025. Let's just jump into it. I don't like to waste your time. The match kicked off with one of my favorite matches of the show, believe it or not. Bryce Hansen, Eita, and Masa Kitamiya. I like this team a lot. I'm a big fan of this Hansen kid. I really think that he looks like, he jumped off the pages of an old school wrestling magazine. And not just his look, but his style, his demeanor, everything about him screams legit. I like this kid. And who doesn't like Eita and Masa Kitamiya? That's a good, solid team right there. Because you got the old school throwback style and look of Hansen. We've got the cocky swagger of the new generation, Eita, the light heavyweight, and the big power machine of Masa Kitamiya. They took on Daiki Odashima, Hayata, and Hitoshi Kumano. Hitoshi Kumano, sorry, mispronouncing that. But this was a good, solid match. Only 6 minutes. Wasn't a long match. It saw Hansen, Eita, and Kitamiya survive and win and go over here. Like I said, I really enjoyed this match. It was short, it was sweet, but it made sense. It worked. I liked it. This is the kind of wrestling I like to see in Pro Wrestling Noah. Short matchup, but again, I highly recommend this one. Nice way to kick off the show. Then we had a three-way match that I fast-forwarded because it was Shuhei Taniguchi, Black Menso-re, and poor Muhammad Yone. Poor Muhammad Yone, why is he in there in a sub 6 minute match with two clowns? I don't know, to try to help get them over. I fast forwarded this to the end. I always watch the end of the matches. I fast forward so I can talk about what happened. And this was some of the most ridiculous stuff I've ever seen in Pro Wrestling Noah. It saw Muhammad Yone slam Taniguchi on top of Black Menso-re and cover them both with the 1-2-3. But somehow the referee says, no. I think he was saying, this is why we need commentary. Noah, we need commentary on more of these shows. I know it's probably expensive, but man, these shows are missing commentary so bad. And here it could have been explained to us what happened. But I think what the referee was saying was that Muhammad Yone lifted up his cover before he hit the three. Like it was like, I'm covering a guy. 1, 2, 3. And Yone lifted up his pinfall on the two guys, giving the guy who was in the middle of the stack, which was Shuhei Taniguchi, the win. Ridiculous, pathetic. The match was a joke. I hated this with every passion of my being. Next 6-man matchup saw F-Swag. I'm talking about Gaia Hawks, Jun Masioka, and Yuya Sumu taking on Asuka, Atsushi Katoge, and Junta Miyawaki, 2/3 of the junior tag team champions. Now, if you remember, 2/3 of F-Swag, Hawks and Masioka, came up short in their match against Miyawaki and Asuka. Sorry, looking at my notes, getting mixed up a little bit. They came up short because there was an injury. The match had to be called off. The match had to be halted in the title tournament, the GHC Junior tournament that would name the #1 contenders, that Miyawaki and Asuka went on to win. Not only win the tournament, but they're now the new junior tag champions. So, of course, Hawks and Masioka want a shot at them. They won this match in 9 minutes. Pretty big win for them. They did cheat. They used that wet floor sign to crack, I forget who it was. I think it was Miyawaki over the head and neck and back with it, and ended up pinning him after their finishing move after doing that. I'm very familiar with these signs. I work in safety. That's my job out there in the real world. I'm a safety specialist, if you will, safety specialist coordinator. So I recognize these wet floor signs, and I don't see how they're very dangerous. I could hit somebody pretty hard with it, and I don't think it would lead to a pinfall victory. But I'm getting a little picky, I know. But sometimes little stuff like that bothers me in wrestling. I love Noah, so I just wish it'd be a little more straight up, a little more serious, a little more badass. This match was good. The ending, kind of flat, in my opinion. Then we had a good match. Almost had a short match, but this was just over 12 minutes. Saxon Huxley took on Null. I don't know. I think Null needs a new name or a nickname or something. I've seen an interview with him where he likes it, but Knull, I don't know. Maybe if he was, from the Ugandan jungle and didn't talk and slapped his belly or something, that would work. I like the guy. Don't get me wrong. I think Null, he has a good look. He was in the military. He's strong. He's a beast. I don't love the name. Saxon Huxley, Bruiser Brody kind of look to him. I mean, I'm not saying he is Bruiser Brody. Same hair, same beard. Little bit of antics to him. Nothing wrong with modeling some stuff after one of the best wrestlers of all time. This was a very good big man match. I like this very much. Wasn't my favorite match of the show, but it was up there. The first match, this match, and I'll tell you what my next match that I really liked in this show was. Saxon Huxley gets a big win. I consider it a big win over Null. Null was undefeated, was really cruising along, looked amazing. This doesn't really hurt him too bad, losing to Saxon Huxley. But, it was a big win for Huxley. I enjoyed this match very much. Another six-man match here, sensing a theme. Japan is known for these. America is getting to be known by these, AEW and everyone else. And I don't say that begrudgingly. They're fine, but I love single man and 2 versus 2 tag team matches. That's what I watch wrestling to see. And I'm not saying this is bad or I didn't enjoy it, but I just get a little tiresome. Kazuyuki Fujita, Naomichi Marufuji, and Takashi Zagura took on Alejandro, Kai Fujimura, and Kaito Kiyomiya and won. Yeah, this is about 11 minutes long. Fujita, Marufuji, and Segura won this match. Look, Fujita's a badass, whether you like him, whether you don't, whether you think he needs to hang it up, whatever you think about him. I know there's some negative opinions about him. I like him. He almost always leads his team to victory. Very rarely does he lose or do his teams lose, and that was the same here. They defeated All Rebellion. That's a pretty big deal, in my opinion. All Rebellion is a top faction in pro wrestling Noah. They're some of the best wrestlers in the company. Absolutely. So for the random team of Fujita, Marufuji, and Segura to win this, that's pretty good. Now, yes, Fujita, Marufuji, and Segura are the longtime veterans. They have been around wrestling for a long time. They're ungodly good, ungodly skilled, and no one should put them down for being older guys. But they took the young boys to the woodshed and won this match in about 11 minutes. I like this one. Tag team matchup saw the passionate Rattels, that being Manabu Soya and Yohei. What a remarkable team that is. So you talk about night and day. As they took on Team 2000X, Owada-san, and Tadasuke. And another enjoyable match, just shy of the 11-minute mark. I'll tell you what I don't like about this, and it's going to be a gripe that most of you are going to roll your eyes at, and, well, this guy doesn't understand Puretto. I do. Doesn't mean I have to love it. I knew Owada-san was going to go down, and that's what happened here. I'm ready for some of these young guys to start winning, and I know it doesn't work that way. Please don't preach at me. Yes, I still love Noah and Puretto if it doesn't work that way. But sometimes it's frustrating when you watch a match, a good match, an entertaining match, but know who's winning just based on where the youngest guy is, where the guy who still hasn't quite come out of his young boy phase. You know who's losing that match. And sometimes it leads to a little bit of disinterest. Match was still good. Match was still solid. Yohei and Soya win, of course, taking out Owada-san. But Tadasuke comes in and gets the beat down on Soya and Yohei, especially Yohei. I mean, he took out his leg with a chair. Tadasuke just doesn't care anymore. He's lost his mind. He's as bad as they come, right? He is Team 2000X to the max. So's Owada-san. I like his look. I like his attitude. But they lost, but in the end, kind of won in a way because Yohei had to be carried out of the ringside area. Then we had another 6-man match, Team 2000X, Daga, Jack Morris, and Ozawa. And I've come to like and appreciate Ozawa. I did not like him at all at first, but I've come to understand what they're doing with him, and I really appreciate and like it. They took on Keno, Kenta, and Ulka Sasaki in about a 13-minute match that I didn't like at all. Okay, it started outside the ring. Look, I don't need to hear anybody giving me lessons on how heels work or anything like that. I talk about these matches in regard to my preference for professional wrestling, okay? My preference is what the next match is going to be, just for an example. My preference is what that first match was, what Huxley and Null was. It isn't this. It started outside the ring, and Ozawa and Kenta stayed outside the ring the entire time, fighting up and down alleyways. Ozawa even leapt up and climbed to the balcony region, which was an impressive feat. No doubt about it. It was impressive. Leaped off onto all 3 members of the opposition. But I'm just not into this. You know, it's just a crazy hodgepodge mix mash of wrestling all over the place. Sometimes tag rules were followed, sometimes they weren't. So, of course, this led to Team 2000X winning because the referee just pretty much gave up here and let them do whatever the hell they wanted. It was like I was watching a no rules match, which I don't really like, no matter. I love Kenta, but I think his match against Ozawa is no rules or something. It's a hardcore street fight or something. Totally sucks a whole lot of interest out for me. I don't want to see a wrestler like Kenta. And Ozawa, no matter his antics, can wrestle. He can go. I don't want to see two guys in Puresso that can go in a goopy match I think I would see on AEW or WWE. No rules. No. This wasn't for me. I'm really worried that Kenta versus Ozawa isn't going to be for me, and I want it to be because I like both of them. But this crazy Suzuki Goon nonsense just ain't for me. I did not like this match at all, but Team 2000X win it. And finally, here's my style of match. Here was match of the night, the main event. It should be, and it was. Galeno took on Tetsuya Endo to decide who would become the next GHC national champion. And these two wrestled. There were some heel antics. Of course there was, because Endo is part of Team 2000X, but it wasn't over the top. There wasn't 5 ref bumps. There wasn't unbelievable amount of interference with chairs and chains and truck tires and sinks and whatever else they can find around the arena. It just had some subtle, sneaky interference from Team 2000X that Galeno had to overcome if he wanted to win this, and he did, and he wins. Endo could not overcome Galeno's strength and his wrestling ability, which gets better and better every stinking time you see him. He is going to be a bigger deal, a bigger thing than his brother, El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. I really believe he is, and I like El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. Don't misunderstand, but Galeno's size combined with the ability that he has, he's going to be something, and he's going to be a great national champion. Immediately after winning the title, Saxon Huxley comes out, gets in his face, and says, "I'm the next challenger." Then to his credit, leaves and lets Galeno continue his celebration. 23, almost 24-minute match that was excellently put together and excellently executed. Bret Hart would be proud of this match. Galeno and Tetsuya Endo give wrestling fans what we want, and that is wrestling done right. This was pro wrestling Noah style. This is how just about every match in Noah used to be, and my God, do I miss that, and I wish it would return. I know in a lot of times Noah's biggest cards are like this. They are almost every match except Black Menso Ray are constructed in a badass, hard-hitting, stiff battle fight presentation, and I love that, and I love this. This show, I'm only going to give this show a 7 out of 10. I wasn't displeased with it, but I'm really sick of having no commentary, really tired of it. I'm really tired of unbelievable amounts of multi-man matches, and I know that's pure SO. I get it, but sometimes I'm just tired of it. You know, I'm really tired of comedy, Taniguchi and Black Menso Ray, and they pulled Muhammad Yone into it a little bit. I'm really tired of a couple things Noah is doing. Still love Noah. Look, I bought this jacket. This was expensive. And I'm not bragging about that, but I'm saying I put my money where my mouth is when it comes to Noah. I spent a lot of money on Pro Wrestling Noah because I love it. And shows like this aren't going to make me hate it or walk away from it or anything of the like. But it is, I'm never going to not be honest. And this, I think 7 out of 10 isn't a bad rating, but it's not, you know, the 9s and the 10s and the 11s. Sometimes when I really go over the top, I got to pull Dave Meltzer and give him one more point than I normally is on the scale, right? But no, 7 out of 10. This show, except for 2 or 3 matches, is even skippable, sadly. You wouldn't miss nothing if you didn't watch this show. I recommend the first match, but that is an absolute must-see. I just really liked it. I definitely recommend Saxon Huxley versus Knoll for a good big man match, and I recommend highly the main event. So if you only want to watch those 3 matches, that's all I can really strongly recommend. Nothing wrong with the other ones except the Black Mensa Ray one, which is always skippable. Just nothing special about them. Hopefully I don't upset those who follow me or those in pro wrestling know who know what I do here, which I appreciate. But I'm Adam Lavelle, the Wrestling Snob, WrestlingDoneRight.com. There you can follow me on all my socials and become part of the IIWC. That extra I, well, that's for intelligent. Check it out. Check my other YouTube channel out, IIWC, the Intelligent Internet Wrestling Community. That's my other show. I talk about all other wrestling except Noah. Noah gets its own devoted channel right here, and I'll continue to be here 9 years strong, and going. And I'll be back again before you know it.